Hello students, welcome to Sridharanjan Study Center. I am your English teacher and today I have come here with another new topic, that is your letter writing. Okay, so from this part you can be asked question. I hope that you don't get any questions from this part because in your syllabus there is no mention, there is nothing mentioned about this, but let me give you some extra videos regarding all these important things which you must know in your life. See, knowing about the method of writing a letter, and knowing about how to write a letter is something that is common, that is common and that should be known to everybody. See, because anybody uh, anybody in his life is going to get the knowledge of this method of writing a letter, because he will anywhere at any point of time in his life has to write this letter. Okay, so first of all I'll give you some introduction. I'll give you some brief introduction regarding this letter, then I'll just jump into the topic right away. Okay, so what is the letter? I think in the previous class when I talked about the application writing, I gave you some little bit information regarding this letter. Okay, so let me tell you the same thing once again to give you better explanation regarding this letter writing. I must tell you that letter is something that is written or typed message addressed to a single person or a group of people. Suppose I want to tell something or I want something to be done. Suppose I want to raise my complaint against the government or against any situation which is happening around me, then I must write them in a letter and send it to the concerned department. Okay, so this is the official way of writing a letter, and this letter can be, as I said, that the simple definition of this letter is it is a typed message. Suppose I want to tell something and I want to give some message to anybody. So and so that is why I take the help of this letter. I write down my message. I write down my thoughts and emotions and send it to the concerned department or send it to the concerned authority. Okay, so you can see right now, in order to share our thoughts or in order to give any message, we are using phone, microphone, we are also using WhatsApp, electronic media. But before this modern century, we are using the form of writing in order to spread ideas, in order to spread our message. So all these things we are doing right then. Okay, so that is why this is known as the official purpose of writing this letter. See, this letter, if you write a letter, then that can be preserved for any long period. And if you want to send any message through voice recording or through phone, then there is no possibility that you can store those voices and records as official record for future purpose. See, so that is why written letter are much more reliable resources for preserving it for future purposes. Okay, so that is why we often take the help of letter, and letters are the only thing which can give us the evidence. Suppose you write a letter to the police station, so that time what is the evidence which is used as the evidence? This letter, written letter. Like they will take a copy of it and will make a printout and it will be handed over to the person who raises his complaint. धर तुम जान गोटे कंप्लेन दो पुलिस स्टेशन रे, तो पुलिस कौन करे से कंप्लेंट रखिए, जेरक्स करके तुमको आउ गोटे फेरेबे. तो व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ दैट जेरक्स कॉपी? दैट इज यूज्ड एज द एविडेंस, दैट इज यूज्ड एज द what that is used as something which gives you the reliable source regarding your complaint. तुम कंप्लेन देइछो बिले सेटा तुमको तुम सेटा देखि परिबो. ओके, and there are some definitions I have also given you, that the letters can be classified into many kinds. On the basis of the purpose, letters can be friendly or formal. Okay, so this is something very normal. You know that the letters are divided into two parts, or the letters are categorized into two parts. Letters can be written in two ways. One is informal and another is formal. Informal माने कौन ना जोटी तमें formal way for writing तमें use करनी, मतलब इनफॉर्माल समथिंग आज यूजुअल तुम धर फॉर्माल आ इनफॉर्माल विषय आग जानवे कौन इनफॉर्माल कौन ना तुम जो तुम सांग सहित कथा हो दैट इज कॉल्ड अन इनफॉर्माल वे ऑफ टॉकिंग एंड व्हेन यू टॉक टू योर प्रिंसिपल व्हेन यू टॉक टू somebody who is in a very official position and who is sitting in authority, that time you take the help of a polite way of discussing any matter or talking to that person. Suppose you go to a police station and talk to the sub inspector. How do you talk? You talk in a very polite way. You use very official languages. You cannot use any normal languages before him, because he is sitting in an authority. But at the same time, when you talk to your friend, that time you use very regular languages, very vernacular language, means what you use in your daily life. So that is the difference between informal and formal. At the time of being informal, you don't have any care about being rude and being familiar and being angry, everything. But at the time of talking to an official person, you have to be very polite, and you have to be very formal, means you must use very formal languages, means very good languages. Okay, so there are some hints I have given here, that informal is also known as friendly. Friendly मतलब सांग मान को जो लिखा जाए पर्सनल लेटर, इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड पर्सनल लेटर, मीन्स यू कैन राइट डाउन एवरीथिंग वट एवर कम्स टू योर माइंड. Formal is very polite, and a business letter. Business letter, suppose you write something to the collector, talking about a business. You are going to initiate a business, and for that purpose you need some permission. That is why you write a letter to the collector of your district. That is called business letter, and in that letter you must have to be very much polite. If you do not show your politeness, then you will be called as a rude person, and your assignment will be cancelled. Okay, so that is why we take it as a formal way for writing letter. Okay, so let us talk about to which place we can write this informal letter, and to which place we can write this formal type of letter. Okay, so informal way of writing this letter is written to friends or relatives and knowing people. लाइक तुम जहाँ को जाच जना लोक तुम सांग तुम रिलेटिव्स तुम बाबा मामा तो जो अंकल आंटी तो जो मैंने जाच से तुम लिख लांगुएजटा केमी दरकार ना लैंग्वेज फ्रेंडली एंड आज यूजुअल. किंतु फॉर्माल से हुए फॉर्माल कौन लिखा जाए रिटन टू ऑफिशियल पर्सन अननोन पर्सन. अच्छा ये मन रख अननोन पर्सन मैं कौन कहली अननोन पर्सन कौन ना तुम जो गोटे लोक चिन्ह नथिबो सेठी कौन तुम आउ इनफॉर्मल लिखिपर कि फॉर्माल लिख कौन ना जदि से तुम जान ना वेदर दैट पर्सन इज ए कॉमन मैन और an official person or anybody who comes from a higher rank तुम से किसी जाना ना से आम अननोन लोक लिखला फॉर्माल भी लिखे. And official purposes, suppose you want to talk about a robbery that is taking place in your village, and you write this letter to the chief minister or the police station. That time you must have to be writing a formal letter. Okay, so after that I'll give you some okay, these are some ideas which I have written over here. You just take the note and read it along with it. Let us talk about the format. Okay, so informal letter. So in this video class I will only talk about the informal way of writing letter, and in the another class which will be uploaded later, in that class I will be talking about formal. Okay, so what you just need to include is the first that will be sender's address, then date, then greeting means salutation. सेठी तुम डियर फ्रेंड कहीं पर डियर कौन पे कहना सेटा होची पर्सनल वे ऑफ राइटिंग लेटर ऑफ इनफॉर्मल होची डियर फ्रेंड डियर रमन डियर फादर व्हाटएवर. बॉडी ऑफ द लेटर इज अगेन डिवाइडेड into three parts. Okay, in the application I have already talked about this, that the body of the letter or body of the application should be divided into three parts. That is how we represent our thoughts, and if we divide our thoughts into three parts, that will be clear and concise in manner, and that will be crystal. Okay, so that is how our information which is provided in the letter and application would be very much neat and clean for the reader to read it out. And the informations are also assembled in such a way which which looks very eye catching. Then introduction there body part ta tinta hele first part as of introduction, then as la theme or the theme of the whole or sub theme or the whole subject of on details. तापर लास्ट आसे conclusion or your expectation. Conclusion कोण आमे लिखे तमे कोण चाहुच और your request सेना सला तापर आसे signature. सिग्नेचर सब सिग्नेचर भी सब्सक्रिप्शन कहती से कौन आसो तुम लॉट्स ऑफ लव लिखिपर बेस्ट विशेष जहाँ लिखिपर तले तुम ना लिख. Okay, so this is the marking format. You just take a look at it. Okay, so here I have written a question that you are Abhinav, write a letter to your friend congratulating him or her on his her success in plus 2 final year exam. The plus 2 final year exam रे तम फ्रेंड को लिखिले सेठी इनफॉर्मल लेटर लिखा जाए. इनफॉर्मल लेटर सब मन रखियो केवल सेंडर्स एड्रेस रहिबो रिसीवर एड्रेस रहिबोनी. फास्ट देखिबो सीडीएस सेक्टर कटक ओडिशा मुझे कौन लिखली खाली सेंडर्स एड्रेस रहिला. तापर को पुणी आसला हमर डेट जुलाई 15 2020. तापर आसला सैल्यूटेशन डियर रिंकू. देन दिस इज द इंट्रोडक्टरी पार्ट इन व्हिच आई टॉक अबाउट द सब्जेक्ट इन a very little way. My happiness knew no bounds when I got to know that you have topped your college and achieved your dream. See, from this introductory part you come to know that this letter is about that particular topic or this particular topic or any particular topic. This first part gives us information, very important information regarding the things which are going to come in the letter section. तापर आसला मझे लिखिला पूरा होल डिटेल्स बोल से लिखिला. लास्ट को देखो एक्सपेक्टेशन कौन लिखिला होप टू सी यू सून. तो फ्रॉम दिस लाइन यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट दिस इज टॉकिंग अबाउट द एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑफ द पर्सन हु इज राइटिंग दिस लेटर. Okay, so here you have the subscription and you can write with lots of love and best wishes whatever. There are so many subscriptions lying around. You can pick any one of it and use it in your letter. Yours lovingly, you can also say yours lovingly, then you write the sender's name. So that is how we write the letter. See, what I want you to do is that just understand and remember the method and the criteria like where to use sender's address and where to use date and where to use subject and where to use sar like salutation, where to use body of the letter and how the body of the letter should be written and where to use this ending line, subscription and name. So all these things, these are the things which you need to remember. After that you can do anything. So these are some questions in the end. You just go through it and try to understand the lecture. If you find any problem then contact me at any time. I'm always available for all of you. Okay, so if you understand then try to attempt these two assignments which I have given you over here. And okay, so after that we'll talk about the formal letter here in the next class. Thank you.